I'm Gabby.
Yes, and we are back at it despite ongoing
Oh
issues.
my God, it's me. It's me.
It's all your
I hate
fault.
it. I hate it
No,
so
it
much.
happens. It
I
happens.
know.
It's good to see everybody. Happy Thursday and September 11th. So, of course,
Yeah.
I've been, I spent a lot of this morning, just reflecting about everything. And, of course, also the tragedy yesterday and everything going on. I know our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody
It's
for what's
rough right
happening.
now.
But all moving on from that, we love you all and we're excited to be here. So today we want to chat about some audio stuff, of course. Headphones versus what are we chatting about? Headphones.
Headphones versus monitors. I
Right.
feel like
Right.
this is such a big topic throughout voice acting and understanding, do I need monitors, do speakers, right? Do I need what do I need to do? Can I edit exclusively with my headphones, right? There's all
Hmm.
these little peculiarities to this, and I
Oh
think it's
yes.
a good, yeah, it's a good topic to
And
discuss.
on top of that, I looked like I think I'm so I got a really
You
bad
got some
burnt
sun,
the other
man.
day, and I'm starting to peel some.
You
I'm
got some
peeling. I'm a
sun for
lizard
sure.
shedding
You
my skin. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes, yes. But definitely. So, what do you like to work with, Gabby? Do you like to work with your headphones? You like to work with monitors? Yeah. Start
So
us off.
as an audio producer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess we have to split the conversation, right? So it's what I do in my booth versus what I do outside of the booth. So
Right.
in the booth, unless I'm being directed and I have to hear someone else, no headphones, no nothing. I just go. I just go in, I get on mic, I do the things. That's it. Um, but when I exit the booth and I go into editing mode, I have two Adams audio speakers that are mounted at what I consider to be ear level or a little bit above it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
tilted down toward me and angled in. And I do 90%, I would say, if not more, of my editing with those monitors.
Yes.
Um, Now, that's the classic method, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
that's the way editing has normally been done. And it gives you, and by the way, I mean, again, for anybody who does this, like when we edit loud, like
Mm-hmm.
we turn it up, we really scrutinize the details, but at the same time we do have a little bit of the environment, right, in that process. So we're not usually stressing out over
Mm-hmm.
extreme minutia, right? Because we
Absolutely.
understand that there's a certain decibel or certain, window of what people normally hear in an open air environment anyway.
Right.
But
What are you?
there's so many components to this now, right? So
Right.
let's talk about yours, and then we'll
Okay.
talk about some of the I guess
Yeah.
exceptions or
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, definitely. So I think when I first started, I of course didn't know any better. So what I did, maybe probably most people do, I saw videos of people in studios with headphones on. So I always assumed from the beginning that I needed to use headphones.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? To do everything with. Like
Yeah.
when I'm narrating, I would have my headphones on. When I was mixing, I'm listening back, I have my headphones on. And for some reason, the headphones I had, everything always sounded really crappy. Or something like it just it sounded bad to me. I could never figure it out. And then finally, when I thought it was sounding good, I remember taking my audio into my car, and it sounded horrible. It was horrific, and I could not figure out. Anyways, I could not figure out what was going on. So I went down the rabbit hole more with learning about recording, learning about mixing and editing. It's
Hmm.
just my beginning of my journey in becoming, not just voice actor, but an audio engineer.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot of things and I started trying a lot of things. So first off, I realized first and foremost, I've been an actor my whole life pretty much on stage, live stage, and I never performed with headphones. Clearly, we don't perform with headphones on
Yeah.
stage, and I realized performance wise, hearing yourself through your own like through your head, through the resonating of your, your cavities and everything going through your ears and stuff is different than listening to yourself in headphones. And some people may like one way or the other, but
Yeah.
I like to do it without them. I just like to perform without headphones. So I made that change.
It's
Next,
terrible. I think listening to yourself does you a disservice, right?
mm-hmm.
The only exception to this that I believe exists is if you're really, really new and
Right,
you're learning how to like not pop your peas, or you're,
right,
you're trying to reduce sibilance, or you're trying to do something very technical, the headphones can assist. But if that's the case, go one ear on, one ear off.
right,
Yeah.
right. No, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So then, as time went on, I started to look into, hey, I'm looking side to side because I have the same thing Gabby has. I have two JBL monitors, and they're mounted right at
Mm-hmm.
level with me, so
Mm-hmm.
that I can hear in this kind of true triangular shape,
Yep.
how we sound directly. They're pointed at me,
Mm-hmm.
and I have used that setup ever since, where I perform. I listen back.
Mm-hmm.
99% of everything is just that way. I don't use headphones at all.
Yeah.
Also, another thing I learned too was when I first set up my monitors, the space that I was in, because I had separated the recording space from my editing space just because of cord lengths and noise from the equipment and all this stuff. Anyways, I found that the space I was in that I was editing in also needed treatment. And I had never known
Mm.
about that because you need a little bit of treatment in here, because when you're listening back and you're trying to edit, if you're in a real echoey room that you're editing in, your audio might sound that it's echoing, and it's not actually echoing. It's the room where this like you're listening back to your sound. It's a very interesting dynamic, you know what I mean? Now, it doesn't have to be treated nearly as much as your
Mm-mm.
recording space, but it's nice to have some treatment in here. As you can see in my
Yeah.
room, and even Gabby,
Oh yeah.
we have treatment just there so it's not echoey.
Yeah. It helps. It does.
Mhm, mhm. So
Um,
yeah, so that's my setup right now that I use. Hmm.
so mistakes that I see people making a lot. Let's talk about some of the things that we see people doing that are no bueno and why. So the first is, I do see people who, invest in headphones, but they
Hmm.
go out and they buy really crazy expensive headphones that
Mm.
don't necessarily help the voiceover process. The
Mhm.
two biggest culprits I see are Beats
Mm.
and Bose noise canceling, right? So neither of them are a great choice for voiceover. It's just a situation of, just because something is expensive doesn't mean it's better. For what we do, we want to be able to hear our audio as it's called a flat response, or as
Mhm.
flat as possible. And what that translates to is, we do not want any listening device that is going to color, enhance, or change the sound of what we are listening to, because we want it to be pure. And so Beats and Bose and noise cancelings and all these things, they are designed to
Mhm.
change the sound.
Mhm.
And we do not
Mhm.
want that. We don't want those
Absolutely.
enhancements. Okay.
And you have to think too, a lot of these companies as well, remember Beats is owned by Apple.
Yes.
And you just have to kind of realize that those are mainstream names,
Mm-hmm.
that mean nothing to us.
No,
You
no.
are looking for monitors.
So,
It would say that it's a monitor, which Gabby just said, a flat response. The
mm-hmm.
trouble we have is a lot of things you listen to, even through your computer or even through different things, they are manipulated,
Yes.
right? They are given high end boost, low end boost to frequency ranges in
Yeah.
order to sound better. They clean up audio. We are trying to stay away from that, which
Right.
is another reason why we have an interface. It's nice to plug into your interface to listen to the audio, not through a computer or something else, because the interface should give you the cleanest
Listening. Yeah.
listening, like the audio that you can hear. So that's an important thing to know also, because some people will plug right into their computer. They might even use their
Mhm.
computer speaker.
Well, I was going to get to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the headphone front, one of my favorite stories is, most people know that, yes, Apple owns Beats, but Beats were created by Dr. Dre, right? And I love Dre, but I'm gonna tell you guys something really funny. every single picture you will ever see of Dr. Dre in the studio, he's wearing these. He's got Audio Technicas. Audio Technica headphones are like the gold standard for listening. The Audio Technica line, they are superb, and you can get them for as little as like $60 or as much as like I splurged and got these because they were a limited edition in the color and everything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
right,
I had to
yes,
have it, so
yes.
but I had my girl moment there.
No, I loved it.
But
I bought a pair. Sennheiser used to have. They had it was a Sennheiser
Sennheiser does make a great headphone as well.
380, and they
Yes.
discontinued it, and you can't get them anymore. Now they're 200s and stuff. They're okay, but they're not as good as the 380 was. So
No.
I don't even. So yeah, I do. I lean more towards Audio Technica now
Yeah.
as well.
And there's some great features with headphones like this that you don't get from something like a pair of Beats. And I think one of the things that I love showing people, because it feels like a magic trick, this cord, is it going to behave? Boop. Right? And the coolest thing about doing that is the fact that 99.9% of the time, the thing that gets damaged on a pair of headphones is the cord, right? Your
Yes.
cord gets old, it gets kinked, it gets frayed, it gets slammed under a door, like things happen. And then you're out your headphones.
Right.
These
Something's going on with your audio, Gabby. Oh,
what just happened?
We lost. That was crazy. I think you're back.
Making sure my headphones are locked back in because now I can't hear.
I think you are back.
What in the world?
Yari, can you hear me? You shouldn't have unplugged your headphones.
What happened?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing,
Wait,
testing.
and you're not going to believe this. Now I don't hear you. What happened? What is happening? No.
So we can hear you. We can hear you. But you can't hear us? Can everybody hear Gabby?
This is lame.
Is it?
And it's not my headphones either. I think whatever's
headphones.
going on with the box.
Oh my goodness, that is too funny. Yeah, you might have to reset your box again, Gabby.
Hold on, I'm gonna try to figure out what's.
So, anyways, while Gabby is working on that, I think we were kind of talking about the headphones and the cords and everything like that. So one of the things that I think we had some questions in there. Okay, maybe Gabby can come back. But we definitely had some questions. And yeah, I know we can hear. So what happens is we can hear her, but for some reason she can't hear us. She had gotten a new box, right? And it just didn't. She had to reset it earlier because that's why we were a few minutes late because the audio was still not fully working. So I do want to make sure we get to some questions. Even if poor Gabby can't make it back, I do want to keep going. So let's talk about, so Jason said, what kind of monitors? So I personally love JBL monitors. And, I think they are fantastic. They're powered, right? So you don't need an amp. You know what I mean? They can just plug into the wall because there's certain types of monitors and speakers, right? Some go into an amp or an amplifier, and then some go into, some are powered. We want to get the powered ones. They plug into the wall and they're independent, but then they plug into your interface so that you can listen back to them as well. So I like JBL monitors. I know someone else here had said something about some other monitors. There's a lot of other monitors. But that's my personal favorite JBL. They're affordable, so I like those. Wait, Strange Cat had a question. I've had a few people ask what equipment I'm using to record. What is the reason that is asked? Great question. That's a fantastic question. And I'll answer. I hate the fact Gabby's not here, but she'll be back. We'll figure it out. But let me answer this question. As you know, there is a lot of people out there right now, voice actors or other people in general, who are trying to do voiceover, and they might be using equipment that is, newer equipment, kind of cheaper equipment that is not great sounding. There she is. She's made it back. You're back. Oh no, we can't hear you though. Can you hear us? I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Oh, you can. I think it's a test of our patience and fortitude. Bless Gabby. Sorry. So, anyways, going back to what Kat was asking, what is the reason that is asked? Because honestly, they're trying to, in their mind, they're trying to make sure you have good enough equipment for their voiceover. That's basically what they're asking. They're asking to make sure that you have good equipment in their view. And because somebody comes back and says, "Hey, I'm using my phone," or I'm using a Blue Snowball mic like I started with, a $40 microphone, they're probably going to be like, "Well, you're not at the $40 microphone." They're probably going to be like, "Well, you're not at the I can hear
How about
myself.
now?
Uh-oh. I can hear myself."
How about now?
Oh, you got to hit the echo. We can hear you, but you got to hit the echo cancellation.
It says it can't be changed while recording. Okay, one more time.
So anyways, that's basically why. Okay, so speaking of all the crazy things that happen to audio while you're live, okay, what else do we have? So how about AKG 240 headphones? Asking for a friend. I've heard great things about those headphones, so I'm sure they're wonderful. I think the thing is that the idea here is don't go. Don't be so. The idea here is don't go. Don't be so. Uh-oh. It sounds like echo's going on.
I can't turn off the echo while we're recording, apparently.
Oh, weird.
Mm-hmm.
Right, let me refresh. See what happens.
Dylan, give me more credit than that.
No, it's not working. That is tough. Okay, you talk.
Check,
I'm
check,
gonna
check,
make an
check.
adjustment.
Check, 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 check.
Yeah, we can hear you. So you
Okay.
talk.
Okay.
Answer questions. I'm gonna get my headphones, and maybe if I turn on headphones, it will not do that. Talking about headphones. Oh, the funniness.
This is so funny. Oh my god. Sorry guys. Real time. So yeah, Dylan, give me more credit than that, man. I used to do that. That was back in the day. I'm mellow now. I've chilled out. Anyway, I know this discussion is probably all over the map, but one of the points that I wanted to make, if Anthony hasn't already, is that a lot of people try to, edit with like laptop speakers and built-in speakers, and that is always a bad scene, right? You're not hearing things accurately. You're not hearing the full fidelity of the audio. So your editing kind of ends up being a mess because you're not really hearing things as they are. And so it's always better to eliminate computer speakers altogether and go with monitors. Monitors are more expensive, but the beauty of a monitor is also that they're independently powered. So, if your left speaker goes out, you can replace just it, right? They're wired independently, so you can replace wiring, not the speaker itself. And our speakers, honestly, they last us a lifetime because they don't get any wear and tear. We're not, taking them on the road. We're not musicians. We're not gigging. So they get pretty babied. But it's really important to get them up off the ground, right? Up off the desk, like we've been talking about, in that triangular positioning near your ears. It also helps with vibration because a lot of times, speakers, when they're put on a flat surface, like a desk, they'll vibrate. They'll make sound on their own. And so getting them up onto stands that have that little bit of neoprene padding makes it much better. How do I not hear you now? What is going on? I give up. I feel like the gods are not with me today. I don't understand. I not hear you? Are we still live? I don't even know. We are. Okay. All right, good. Okay. So, all right. Studios, Anthony was saying he's a big fan of the JBLs. JBLs are great. I also like smaller ones. Like, we don't need monster stacks. Like sometimes musicians, you see these big giant monitors. We don't need that. We need like 8-inch monitors. They're like these big. They're adorable. They're compact. Some of us go a little bit bigger, right? You splurge. Adams Audio is a brand that I've been a big fan of here recently. The sound quality is just stupendous. They are a bit on the expensive side, but they are worth it. But you can also get, less expensive. Rocket makes a fairly inexpensive one. They're becoming more common, more popular. Like I was at Micro Center the other day and I was stunned. Excuse me. They had professional grade monitors. I couldn't believe it. And so, you can find them now. They're also a fun kind of like save up for the holidays purchase because they tend to go on sale big time around Christmas, and that's the best time to get them. Yeah. I can't believe this is lame, Anthony. We got to get this fixed. Anyway, thanks for putting up with us, guys. I know this is not the norm. Gosh, if you're new, you're probably wondering what the hell is going on. This is not at all how it normally is. And it's funny because we're always like and subscribe and join us and, ask questions. And right now people are probably like, maybe not. Exactly. Remember, we are professionals. We promise. We promise. We make a living doing this. Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. We are going to regroup tomorrow. We are going to hope like hell to have all of this resolved. And we will see you for Open Forum Friday. Thank you so much for joining.